Hey, welcome y'all. I'm Kim, and in this video I'm going to teach you how to make this super cute little monster, or a version very similar to this. I live in Texas, and back in January we had what we like to call Snowpocalypse. Very unusual for us. We had a terrible ice storm, and personally we were without power, water, heat for 3 or 4 days. So during that time I spent a lot of time in front of the fireplace, fortunate that we had a fireplace, crocheting. And I made this little guy, and I like to call him the Snowpocalypse monster. So I'm going to teach you how to make him, and for this project you're going to need some yarn, and this particular one I'm using is I Love This Yarn, which I do love this yarn, from Hobby Lobby, and this one is in white tweed. So you'll need about a quarter of a skein, I think is what I use for this one, and then just some scrap yarn, whatever you have laying around. You'll need 5mm crochet hook. You'll need safety eyes, and I used, I think one is 7.5mm, the other one is 9, but whatever you have on hand will work. You'll need scissors, a tapestry needle, and some polyfill, and that's all you're going to need to make this cute little Snowpocalypse monster. So let's get started on our little Snowpocalypse monster. So we're going to start with a slip knot, and then we're going to chain 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So if you want your monster to be a little bit wider than this, chain 20 or chain 25, however big you want your monster. Remember, this is kind of a free-form monster, so whatever it is that you would like to do. So now once you have your chain 16 done, or however many you want, we're going to go ahead and start with a single crochet in the second chain from the hook. So we're just going to single crochet across. So if you do not know how to do a slip knot, or the chain stitch, or the single crochet, check out some of my other YouTube videos that will show you how to do that. And then you can just join right back in with this. So 16 we're doing across. Nice and loosey-goosey, relaxed, so you don't get it too tight across. Don't know where that little blue piece of yarn came from, but I'm sure, like you, I have so much yarn flying around the house it could have come from anywhere. And then there's our last one, so we should have 15 single crochets across the bottom. So now we're at the end of this row, so you're going to just chain 1, and then you're going to turn, and then you're going to do a single crochet in each stitch across, and you're going to do that until you get to row 15. So 14 more rows that you need to do, and I'm going to just let you have at it, and I will meet you back here at the end of row 15. So you'll chain 1, turn, and then single crochet in the first single crochet, and every one across. So I will see you back here at the end of row 15, because we're going to do something a little bit different then. So I'll see you back here in a minute. Okay, I'm just checking back in with you. I am at the end of row 8, and you should be looking like this. So Just continue on to row 15, or again, like with the width, if you would rather your little monster be a little bit longer, make more rows than just the 15. Go on to 20 or however many, but you'll need to remember to count how many rows you have, because when we get to the back side, you're going to need to make the same number of rows so it'll be nice and even. So in my case, I am going to do 15 rows. So I'll see you back here in a few minutes. Coming down to my last 3 single crochets in row 15. 1, 2, and 3. And now we're going to do something just a little bit different. You're going to go ahead and chain 2 here. 1, 2, turn, and then we're going to do 2 rows of double crochet across. And the reason that we're going to do that is when we get to the top of the head of our little monster, we're going to fold this over. So I just wanted a little bit bigger space here than what my single crochet would give me. So we're going to do 2 rows of double crochet here. So basically just the same in the first stitch, double crochet, and all the way across. And again, if you don't know how to do a double crochet, watch my other videos and it will tell you exactly how to do that. And then when we get to the end of this row, you're going to do the same, chain 2, turn, and double crochet in each stitch across. So 2 rows of double crochet, and then I will meet you back here at the end of the second row of double crochet. So I'm down to my last 3 double crochets. So 1, 2, and 3. So you should be looking like this. You can definitely see where we go from our single crochets to our 2 rows of double crochets. So the next thing we're going to do is chain 1, turn, and then we're going to go back to doing single crochets. So just like you have been doing in the first stitch, single crochet all the way across for the next 15 rows. So we want to have the same amount of stitches on this side as we do on this side, so when we fold this little guy over, he'll be even on the bottom. So continue on with 15 more rows of single crochets, and I will see you at the very end. Last 3 stitches, 1, 2, and 3. And then we're going to go ahead and finish this off, but leave a long tail. And by a long tail, I mean probably a yard, maybe a little more than that, because we're going to use that to sew this together. So just go ahead and finish it off and leave a nice long tail. So now we have our fabric like this, and we're going to sew our fabric together to start to make the body a little bit. So go ahead and take your tapestry needle and thread it. Which is sometimes the hardest part of crocheting, get through there. So here's a little piece of advice. If you do this and your yarn gets all messed up like that, don't even try to do it again. Just cut it and start all over, because you'll make yourself crazy. What is going on? I told you sometimes this is the hardest part of crocheting, is threading your tapestry needle. There, we got it. All right. So you're going to fold your ends together, and then we're going to just whip stitch it. This is our end of our beginning slip knot. So just whip stitch. Insert front to back, pull, and then just whip it over front to back. So this little monster, I like to do this whip stitch like this because I don't need a really nice solid super straight edge. I do kind of like it a little bit rougher because, you know, he's a little monster. So he's a good monster, but a monster nonetheless. And monsters are sometimes messy. Oops, sorry. There you go. So we're just whip stitching this along this side, but as we get closer to this top, because we're going to want this wider, we're going to make our stitches wider. We're not going to pull them down quite as tightly. Because we want the head to be a little wider up there. Just coming right along. And I'm going to start on, not this one, but the next one. So you can see about a little more than halfway up. Now I'm going to start not pulling these stitches quite as tight. So you see just like that. Nice and loose. Because when we stuff that, it will, let me show you. When we go to stuff it, you'll see that it will kind of tighten up like that as we go along. So just nice and loose here. Pulling just, and you can see how I pulled it tighter down here, and as I'm coming up, it's looser and looser. And almost done. I want to make sure that, oh yeah, that's going to be, oops, that's going to be great. And we'll fill this in with fiber fill. It'll look great. All right, let's see. Excellent. You can see that's nice and loosey-goosey. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go back down this way to kind of fill in a little bit more of these spaces, but I'm going to keep my stitches nice and loose. So when I fill that, his head will be a little wider up here than down there. So go ahead and go back down the row, and I'll meet you right there at the end. So I came back down this way and kind of filled in any of the spaces. I sort of went in between of the stitches that I had going up. So coming down, I filled in those spaces. So now I'm here at the bottom, and we need to just whip stitch this bottom part closed, which is super easy. And go ahead, if you want to, you can just tuck that tail right in there, and then you won't have to worry about sewing it in at the end. So we're going to continue with our whip stitch here along the bottom, front to back. And continue just right along. And I will meet you over here at this corner, and we're going to start to stuff and then sew up the other side. So I'll meet you over there. Done with one side, done with the bottom, and now we're going to start on the other side. And I am going to start this side by putting a little bit of fiber fill in it. We'll stuff it more as we go along, but I just want to get a little bit of an idea. So I'm kind of just stuffing them in, and you can put as much or as little fiber fill in here as you want. I don't like them super overstuffed. Just enough to make them kind of soft and squishy. So I've started a little bit, and now I'm going to go ahead and start whip stitching this side closed, just like we did the other one. Remember, we're not pulling these stitches super tight because we want him to be able to kind of grow a little bit with that fiber fill in him. Just nice and loose. Super easy. I'm going to do one more stitch. Then I'm going to add a little more fiber fill kind of down here along the bottom, since basically we're done with that part. So a little more. And just kind of, if you haven't worked with fiber fill before, you just kind of sometimes have to bully it around, make it go where you want it to go. Yeah, that's good, that's good. And then I'm gonna, when I get up here a little bit farther, I'm gonna do just a little bit more in there, and that's all the fiber fill I'm gonna put in mine. I don't want him super overstuffed, but if that's how you like yours, go ahead, put more in. There are projects that you do that are very precise, and just so you know, I'm going to start loosening these stitches up here, that are very precise and very exact, and I like those projects, but excuse me, it is fun to sometimes make a project that it's not just perfectly exact or perfectly perfect. All right, so I have just that little bit of a hole left, and I'm going to stuff a little bit more fiber fill in there, or polyfill, whatever you want to call it. And so now, before I close this up here, I'm going to just kind of, you see how I'm just sort of moving it around at how I want it. I don't want it filled as much down here as up here. As you can see with my little finished guy, he's thinner down here, a little fatter up that way. So just kind of move it around however you want it, and I like that. So I am not going to put any more fiber fill in. So what I am going to do is go ahead and finish this up just like I did on this other side, and then I'm going to come back down this way and finish it off here, and then we'll move on to the next thing. So I will see you back down here. Okay, I am all done sewing him together, and I just wanted to show you a little bit how you can just kind of shape it how you want it. Like I said, we want him thinner down here and a little wider up there where those double crochets are. So you can kind of just push that down, push it into shape like you want it. And I think that that is a pretty good start to our monster. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and make the eyes for our monster. And you can use whatever color you want. Obviously, you can use whatever color you want for your monster. In this case, I'm going to use, I have this kind of denim color yarn that I think is going to look really nice. So what you're going to do for your eyes is we're going to start with a magic circle, and if you don't know how to do that, you can look at my other YouTube videos that'll show you how to do that. So we're going to start with a magic circle, and then we're going to chain one, kind of hold it into place, and then we're going to do 6 single crochets into the magic circle. So 1, 2, 3, and I always like to pull that end a little bit. I want to make sure it doesn't slip back through. 4, 5, and 6. Oops. 6. And then we're just going to pull that tight. Pull your circle closed. And then we're going to slip stitch into the first single crochet. Just like this. Pull it through and through. And there is one eye made. So it's like with this little guy, his eyes aren't the same, so we're doing just 6 on this one, and we'll go back through and we'll do another row on the second eye. So the first eye, you're going to stop right there, and then the second eye, you're going to go ahead and do 2 single crochets in each single crochet around, so you'll have 12. And when I'm working in the round like this, I always like to use stitch markers. So here is 1, and I'm going to put my stitch marker in. 2, and you notice as I'm doing this one, I'm crocheting over that tail just to crochet it in there. 2, 3, 4. So go ahead and do 2 in each one all the way around until you get to the end. That will be 12 single crochets all the way around. So this would be for the second eye. The first one, just the magic circle with 6 single crochet in it and finish it off. The second eye, magic circle, first round is 6, second round would be 12. So I will meet you at the end. So clearly I have one eye put on, and before we put on the other one, I wanted to let you know that if you don't want to do this type of an eye, I did the magic circle with 6 single crochet in it and finished that off, and then put a safety eye on there, and with this one it was the 6 single crochet and then 12 single crochet to make it a little bit bigger, and again with the safety eye. But you could also, if you'd rather, use buttons for the eyes, and I actually really kind of like this with 1 button and 1 crocheted, but we're going to go ahead and put this guy on since we made him. But just so you know, you can do whatever you want. It's your project. I also have a little heart-shaped one button that kind of looks cute there, or if you wanted to put a nose on it, you could use that as the little nose. So whatever it is that you want to do for your eyes. But we're going to go ahead and place this eye right here, and again, it doesn't have to be exactly perfect, but place it wherever it is that you want it. And then I'm just kind of stitching through that back loop only of the eye, or of that single crochet. So stitching around like that, and I'm going to go ahead and finish this. I'll leave you to it for yours, but I am stitching mine around, and you can see when I'm coming up through the back, I'm going just through the back loop only. on this one. So I'll meet you here at the end, and then we'll go on and go on with the arms and the legs. I have both the eyes on my monster, and I went ahead and just stitched a little mouth on him, and you can do however you want. This one, a little V, he's a little smiling, or this one, you see I just kind of stitched around that way, and then to make him look a little more, I don't know, Frankenstein. So now we're going to move on to these little Curlicue arms, and these are super easy to do, and I love doing them because I think they look great. What we're going to do is I started with a chain 30. So depending on how long or how short you want your arms, you can chain as many as you want because the technique is all the same. It doesn't matter how many you chain. So this is a chain 30, and then all you're going to do is do, in the first chain from the hook, you're going to do 3 single crochets in that. So just 1, 2, 3, all in that same first chain. And then you're going to do that same thing in every stitch. So you'll do 3 single crochets in each chain. 1, 2, 3, and it's not going to take long for you to see it start to curl. 3 single, you can see there already that it's starting to curl around. 1, 2, and 3. So you can see exactly what's going to happen there. It's going to make this super cute little curlicue. So 3 single crochet in each chain all the way down. Now a little bit of a trick. If you don't want yours quite this curly, if you don't want it that tight, you can do 2 single crochet in each chain down the chain. But I like my a nice tight little curl, so 3 single crochets in each chain, and I will meet you here at the end. And of course you're going to make 2 of those for his arms, and sometimes I make them the same length, sometimes I like one a little shorter than the other one. Whatever it is that you like. I know that I've said it before, but it's your monster, so you can make him however you want him to look. So I will meet you back here after I finish my second arm. Okay, so my first arm is done, and yours probably looks kind of like this, and you're thinking, hey Kim, why doesn't mine have that nice curlicue like that? Why is it all kind of in a mess like that? This is exactly how it should look, and then sometimes you just need to go through and kind of twist it around to get it into that little curlicue that you want. So don't panic if when your finished work was done that didn't look like that. It probably looks more like this. So all you just need to do is just twist it around a little bit and form it into shape. And when you finish it off, leave a little bit of a tail, like maybe 6 or 7 inches, and that's what we'll use to attach it to the body when it's time. So there's your first one. So that was with the chain 30, and the length of this one is about 4.5 inches. So a chain 30 with a 5mm crochet hook will get you about 4.5 inches. So you can adjust accordingly, more or less from there. So I'm going to make my second arm, and then I will meet you back here, and we will attach our arms to our little guy. Okay, so I finished the little arms on our little monster friend, and I just wanted to show you the difference. I did this one with 3 single crochet in each chain, and I did this one with 2. So you can see the difference, and this one ended up being about 1 inch longer than this one. So they both started with a chain 30, this one 3 in each single crochet, this one 2. And then I just went ahead and attached them to the body just whip stitch them on. And now we're ready to go on to the legs. And what I've done with the legs is I've gone ahead and I've started already, and I did chain 30, and then I did 1 single crochet in each chain on down. And so now I'm at the end of my chain, and I have 2 stitches left, so there's 1. And then in this last stitch, we're going to do 3 single crochets in this one, because we're basically turning the corner and we're going to come back up this way and crochet on the other side. So 3 single crochets, 1, 2, and 3, and you see how it just sort of naturally turns. And now we're going to single crochet back up this other side in 1 single crochet in each loop along. So, and if you want to, you can go ahead and tuck this tail in and just crochet right over it, and then you don't have to worry about sewing that in. So 1 single crochet, you see how I'm just holding that tail down in that loop right there. Just like that. Just like that. So that's what you'll be looking like coming back up the other side. So 1 single crochet in each of the loops back up the chain. And we are on the home stretch to our little monster. So coming up here to the end of the chain, I'm going to do my last single crochet there, and 1 more there. And now I do want my leg a little bit wider than this, so we're going to do the same thing back around. So this was the last loop on the other side, so now we're going to go ahead and do 3 single crochets right here to help us turn that corner again. 1, 2, and 3. And then I'm going to single crochet in each of the single crochet of the previous row all the way down. And when I get down here to this the single crochet right here on the corner where we did the 3, I'm going to do 3 single crochets in the middle one. So do 3 single crochets, take a look, right here again to help us turn that corner, and then all the way back up, and then we'll finish this off up here. So 3 single crochets up here, single crochet in each single crochet. You get down here to where you put your 3 single crochets into 1 stitch, and you'll do 3 single crochets in that middle single crochet. So I will see you at the end of your second legs, because you'll need to make 2 of these. Yay! You're done with your Snowpocalypse monster. Congratulations. I finished my little guy up, just added those legs to him, just whip stitched those on like we did the arms and how we closed him up. I added a little bit of hair to him. If you want to add more, add more. If you don't want to add any, don't add any. He's your little guy. You can do with him what you want. So I think they're super cute little buddies now that they have. I hope you had fun, and if you have any questions, you can feel free to throw those in the comments, or you can follow me on Instagram, Crocheting with Kim, or Facebook, Crocheting with Kim. I hope you had fun with this little guy, and I would love to see your finished work. If you would tag me on Instagram or Facebook, I would love that. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed it. Take care.